I'm going to tell you guys something. Everywhere I go is female dominated. When I went to college, female dominated, which is concerning, very concerning. I go to work, female dominated. I go to the bookstore, female dominated. I'm not going to the bar. I do not drink. Like, I just kind of want to know what happened to millennial men and where they are hiding. Like, where do they even go? Don't tell me to go to the gym. I can't pay for a membership. It's so expensive. And then when I'm like, you know what, maybe I could do Planet Fitness. Then in my comment section, I see things like, don't go to Planet Fitness. All right, fine. Like, all of my hobbies are introverted. I like playing video games, but I like playing cozy, like, one-person video games. I don't like being on, like, Call of Duty and shit, even though I do like Call of Duty men. But I don't play Call of Duty. Also, I'm a writer. Like, that's my main hobby. If I'm doing that in public, like, I'm not looking up. I go to the coffee shop. There's no men there. I went to the coffee shop one day because I was off. And I was like, let me just go sit in Starbucks. Because a man would go and get his coffee before work, right? Like a businessman. You want to know who was there? Old men. I'm very concerned because men my age, do you guys not work? Like, where are you? Like, girls keep telling me that I got to go out. I'm out. I go outside. There's no men there. I even went to a concert. Men with their girlfriends. Granted, I saw a sleep token. I even like mass talk. Guess what? Biggest thing about mass talk, no men there. It's all women pretending to be men. Sorry. I used to go to conventions. There were men there with their girlfriends. So I'm just wondering, where are the millennial single men who do not have children in New Jersey? Where's the hangout? Because I'll go. I'll fucking go. I don't know how to end this video, so I'm just going to end there. Bye.
I am going to be brutally honest with you. If he isn't absolutely obsessed with you, it's not going to work out. And let me just clarify that I'm not talking about that weird, controlling, obsessive behavior. I'm talking about the guy who adores you and cherishes you and finds ways in his personal time to make your personal life easier. He moves in ways where your feelings are a priority. And I'll tell you why, if it's anything but obsession, it will not work out. Have you guys ever heard of the saying that obsession, when channeled in a constructive and healthy manner, can actually be one of the top contributing factors to success? It is because there's a high level of dedication to a particular goal. In this example, the goal is to make the relationship work, and a man's level of dedication to the relationship is what's going to fuel the success. Because when he adores you and loves you right, you will never feel like you have to fight for this man's loyalty. He's going to be consistently present. He's going to be more detailed to the little things that matter to you the most, and he's going to be resilient when you guys face challenges. So again, if he isn't absolutely mesmerized by your presence first thing in the morning with that wild hair and that makeupless face, revisit your roster, ladies. Life is too short to invest your time and heart in someone who isn't absolutely in love with you.
There's a stat on Facebook, and basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like your sense of entitlement is out of control. Your expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing your bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up.
Guys, if you're trying to figure out if a man likes you, I need you to understand something. Men are so obsessive. Don't take any relationship advice from me. I'm divorced and I've been celibate most of the last 2 years. But the few people who I did date and was in serious relationships with were all obsessed with me. And I just want to say it is just so obvious. And I just want everyone to know and understand what it feels like when a man really likes you. They are so obvious. They are so obsessed. They cannot hide it. You could be walking, like if you're in a room together, they will be staring at you the entire time. You can feel their stare on you. If you are like on opposite sides of the country, you will literally receive a spiritual download that they are thinking of you. Like, it is just such a visceral knowing, and they just cannot hide it. And so I just want everyone out there who is like trying to figure out if a guy likes them, or like asking their friends. That's the worst, when you're asking a friend if somebody likes you. I'm not here to say like that they don't like you. I just want all of us to want obsessed men in our lives, because they are out there. When a man is obsessed, he cannot hide it, and that is available to you, and hold out for that.
Well, where are they at right now? I mean, divorced twice, and then 2 relationships that you're not in. Why are we listening to you? What are we listening to you for?
Stop getting mad at men when they ghost you. This is something my father taught me, that when a man is hanging out with you, sees you, seeks you, he will put you into 3 boxes. Number 1, she's ugly to me. I don't want to do anything with her. Number 2, she's cute enough that I'll fuck her, but then I'm not that mentally interested in her, so I'll leave her. Or 3, I see this woman in a wedding dress. If a man is not actively chasing you and doesn't see you on that wedding day, then he just doesn't care about you. Stop trying to convince yourself, well, maybe this, maybe that. There is no such thing as a maybe with men. It's either I'm interested in her, I'm gonna see her again. I'm interested in her, I'm going to talk to her again. I'm going to want to provide something to her. And if a man is not actively doing that to you, it means he does not give a shit. No other way to say it. He literally could give a fuck about what he does to you or what you do to him. So please, please, pack your bags if you don't have a man giving you what you will provide.
Why is it so hard for women to grasp the fact that they are no more the prize now, and there can be absolutely no reason for men to avoid them? Men are learning to be good on their own. Accept it.
Just a reminder that the Bible literally says that it is better for your husband to be starving in a desert land than it is for him to live in a house with a wife who is beefing with him all the time.
Okay, so I don't know if this is petty or not, but a few years ago I decided to go on a girls' trip.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, to make things easier, like, I'll put everything on my card and you guys just pay me back. So we booked this like almost 2 months in advance. And all I told them was, make sure you pay me back. Like, I don't like to think about money. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to ask for it. Like, do the right thing and just pay your part, like, before we get there, so it doesn't make anything weird. And so, you know, the day of the trip finally arrives and not one person has paid me back yet. So I was like, okay, maybe when I see him in person, because we're all riding together, that, you know, they'll pay me back. So we get in the car. I don't say anything. Everyone's, you know, turned up, having a good time. Still nothing. I'm like, okay. So we're pulling into the hotel, and finally I was like, hey, y'all, like, no one paid me back yet. Like, it wasn't cheap. Like, just the room was over $2,000. Like, it was
a man talk about something. I don't need a woman. I don't need this. But this is what he's left with when I'm gone. When it's time for me to pack it up, this is what he's left with. This is what he's left with, guys. But a man think he all this because he pays all the bills. This is what he's left with. This is what he's left with, guys. Decorations going out of the bathroom. Empty bathroom. This is what he's left with. I'm going to show you all of his things. This is all my things. I'm about to pack all this shit up, too. This is what he's left with, guys. This is what he's left with. This is all his stuff. This is his whole life.
You know, there's some guys in the comments talking about he's left with his dignity. If he's paying all the bills, I'm pretty sure he'll be all right. He'll find him like a chair or something like that. He'll get him a mattress. You know, that's really all he needs. That's really all men need. I mean, on Amazon, you can probably get you a whole assembly, bed and everything, for about $200 or $300. I mean, we're talking about a queen size bed too. And if you're single, that's really all you need. You really only need depending on how, for the average man, you really only need a twin. But, I had a twin for a long time. Or like a full size bed. No, I had a twin for a long time. And then I was like, I want something a little bigger. Got a queen. You can get really good quality mattresses for about $200 or $300 on Amazon. They ship it to you. And then one of those bed frames that you can build to make your house look really nice, another $200, if that. And Black Friday come around, you'll probably get a discount on those. They probably be throwing that stuff at you. So there you go, right there, with your $400 or $500 that you spend on the bed, right? And then once again, you can get pretty cheap furniture to put your stuff in from Amazon or Walmart, stuff that you can put together, and you have a dresser. Easy work. Honestly, if the man wanted to, he can replace everything for probably about $2,000 or $3,000. And that's buying new stuff. That's not even me considering somebody going out to a place where, you can get reused furniture and you can buy it cheaper. And then you can pull out that like a vacuum or something like that, which once again, you can get on sale for Black Friday. And then really, hit it with some solution, wash it, dry it, and really go in and clean that thing. Get all the dirt and grime out of that thing and make it like new. Really, do your big one on it. Yeah. I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right.
I saw this and I was like, well, it's kind of obvious to me, but maybe not so much to you. Men are not obsessed with hoes. Men are not obsessed with women who have no self-respect. Men are not obsessed with women who don't respect them as men. Men are not obsessed with women who just let it all hang out. They tell you everything that they do in the bedroom. They present to you on the first day that they see you that they going, they going date for the streets. No man is obsessed with that. Men are not obsessed with women who know it all, who run their mouths all the time, don't know how to shut up. Men are not obsessed with women who think they're boss bitches and they can rule and run over top of a man, And for some reason, y'all act like y'all don't correlate. It's very obvious. It's so obvious. And if this is the type of thing that you want to happen again, it's time to reevaluate ourselves, girls. We need to start getting back being modest. We need to start being shamefaced. We need to change what we're doing, because how can we keep doing the same things and expecting different results? Now, the majority of women today are hoes, and you can tell that they're hoes. And this is why men are not obsessed with you, because they're not obsessed with hoes. They might look at them, they might glance over at them, they might deal with them every now and then, but they're not locking them down. Let's not ignore the fact that a lot of women are bitter, they're hateful towards men, and they're just not nice to guys. Come on, let's keep it real. Let's take accountability. Let's live in reality and not la la land. What's there to obsess over?
Men used to be obsessed with women. We used to be a proper country. Men used to be obsessed with women. It used to be in our music. It used to be in our shows and the movies. Like, men used to be begging and pleading for a woman's forgiveness. Like, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby. Yes, men used to be doing that. What happened to that? What happened? What happened to that? Can we, as a collective, as a whole, come to the realization that these men aren't obsessed with us no more? What's happening?
Emily says that she started an OnlyFans page in order to pay off some credit card debt and save some extra money. But then when her dad, Paul's coworker, showed him what she was up to, their relationship took a serious hit.
My side of things? How do you think I feel about it? My daughter, my only daughter, putting herself on the internet for the world to look at. It makes me sick. That's my side of things. Yeah. You know how I found out? Through a coworker. Ouch. One of my coworkers came up to me and told me about this. I almost punched his lights out. Okay? And then I found out it was her. She did this. He was right. I mean, and she's doing it to make money. Let me tell you something. You ever want to break your father's heart? Do this. This is exactly how you do it.
Hi, Dad. I just wanted to say I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, and you were just not supposed to find out about this, and I'm so sorry.
You know what? I wish I never had found out about it, okay? It makes me sick to my stomach to know that my baby is doing this.
I know, but Dad, I just needed to make some extra money. You know, like I had credit card bills and I wanted to save some money, and I wasn't going to do it forever. I just needed a little bit extra money.
It doesn't matter how long, one day, 1 hour, it doesn't matter. I raised you to have self-respect and some dignity, and now you're sprawled out on the internet for every pervert to see? I mean, how could you do this?
Dad, I mean, they were just pictures. I understand that you're upset, but, like, it really wasn't that bad. I wasn't doing anything crazy.
Not that bad. Not that bad. Having all those men looking at my daughter, my baby girl, and pay. You know what? You're this close to being a prostitute. This close, okay?
When y'all talk about going 50-50, I'm airtight quiet. I learned this in undergrad. I went to undergrad in Florida, and if you know, you know. There are so many immigrants and internationals in Florida, and the reason why I say internationals is because the only people that argue about 50-50 are Americans, quite literally. I went to school with, when I say internationals, I mean Dominicans, Hispanics, Somalian, Haitian, and literally they were all on the same page. They didn't talk about 50-50. They didn't have a conversation about it. It was nothing to be said because in international households, men are supposed to pay the bills. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to discuss. Men pay the bills. Men pay all of rent. Men pay for the cars. They take care of you. Now, don't get me wrong. They said there were other problems going on in the house, but as an international, it's known that the man is supposed to provide. That's their job. And as men, being international, they know they don't have any other choice. I need to come with my money together. Of course, when things happen, like, would you split rent? Of course, like international said, like, yeah, things happen. My mom did pay it, but on a day-to-day basis, in their relationship, it was set that my dad paid the bills. The man paid the bills. The women brought themselves to the table. And I realized, as Americans, why do we make this conversation? Why are we talking about this? And like now, like American men will say things like, well, if I lose it all, I'm a good woman. If you lose it all today, I will pay rent. I will hold you down until you get it back up. Hope it's quick. But why even plan like that? They say international men don't plan like that. So as internationals think like that, as Americans, let's all go to shift that mindset. Let's stop having conversations about it. As a man, you're expected to pay. You were expected to be a provider. Being a provider is quite literally that. Financially, that's what that means to be a provider.
Somebody in the comments said, I grew up, this is a woman, by the way. I grew up in Florida too, and this is true. But they also are comfortable living on $50,000 for a family of 4+. I would rather me and my husband live a better life and us both bring in a big bag than have only the men work and we got to make 50K stretch. Exactly. I'm not 100% sure what these modern women are thinking, right? Because you're still going to want to live. I see you got your nails done. I see, your car and the whole aesthetic, right? And men know when they see what you're doing, they know what you're up to, right? They know what type of stuff that you're going to be demanding, and they know it's going to become a problem. And so they'd rather stay away from it. So this conversation, I'm not sure who you're talking to or talking about, but somebody in the comments said, sounds like you need an international man then. Go after it. Go for it.
I'm just going to come right out and say it. Porn. See, he agrees, and I haven't even finished my statement. In a relationship, I mean, in general, like, it's a big hard no for me. But especially in a relationship, what on earth do you need that for? If you're in a relationship with a beautiful, real life woman. Oh, wait. Anyways, yeah, hard pass for me. Not even a little bit. Not even gonna go there.
I get what you're saying, as well as a lot of other men in these comments. But, like they saying in these comments also, how long would your significant other have to deny you, let's say, because of an injury before you changed your mind? Never say never. Another person says, so women should just be obliged to service their man whenever he wants. I want to live where you live. Yeah. And basically, other men are saying, okay, 2 simple reasons. Most men live in a sexless marriage, and we are biologically programmed, and we would still watch even if we got it all the time. I don't know about all that. If you got it all the time, All the time? No, I don't think you'd be watching it, Doc. You wouldn't. You'd be too tired. If you was getting it all the time, you'd be drained. Almost quite literally. So, like they were saying, you don't want to condone it, but here's what modern women do. They say stuff like, it's no reason for a man to ever hit a woman, but then be swinging on that man. It's no reason that a man should ever step out and do this, and this, but then be having that man go in or just be in a sexless marriage for literal years. Oh, well, you just hold it. Just be loyal to me. Just continue to provide for me and protect me. Okay. All right. If that's the way you think.
So at the beginning of the year, I started a note in my phone titled Why Women Are Superior. And it has been a fun little process of adding to this note as the year goes along. And every time I intake a piece of content, have a life experience, read an article, have a conversation, I add to this list. It's also become my favorite little party trick to whip this out around a table of women. Bonus points if there's a man there that, maybe gets his feelings hurt. Just kidding. We wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. Okay. So let's start at the top. Number 1, they made every person on this planet. Shall I continue? Because that to me is like a great reason. Again, these are in no particular order. That just happens to be like chef's kiss, just an absolute reason of superiority. Number 2, all the magic of the holiday season. We try and give credit to a man named Santa Claus, but we know that women are behind it all. Number 3, dilate to 10 centimeters. Imagine a man dilating to 10. Number 4, have a full conversation butt naked while getting a spray tan. Number 5, we see our own blood every month. I think a man would freak out if he saw his own blood every month. No loogies in public. A real banger here, honestly. Followed up by number 7, girlhood. It's just kind of, if you know, you know. Number 8, every single successful group project you ever did in school was led by a woman. I promise you this. You can't change my mind on that one. An amazing man is just an average woman. Okay? Snarly Carly has a great TikTok on this. Go check it out. It's so true. And last but certainly not least on this list is women don't shoot up the country. Like I said, this is just part 1. I've got about 40 or 50 more of these, so stay tuned.
Yeah, once again, foolishness. And talking about I have another part. You need another part of this foolishness? You really didn't say anything. Why are women superior? They make other people. And then went and said something that was similar to just basically being pregnant. And then some other stuff like some quotes basically. Here's why we're superior. So basically nothing. You have no proof that women are superior to just talking.
I'm about to eat soup my man made me in the matching PJs he bought us in the house he fully stocked and cleaned. Don't listen to anyone telling you to get married, young bitch. Those men are half bagged. Wait.
Yeah, he cheated. Forget everything I said, sis. Start robbing people. We need Yelp pages and reviews for these men because they be lying. They'll lie and put it on their mother's head. And sis, if you have a hunch and you see a red flag and you're like, oh my God, but this isn't enough for me to like go off on, like maybe I'm tweaking, go through his phone. Just going through his phone, you're not tweaking. Don't gaslight yourself out of it like I did. Go through his phone, look up the calculator trick. Catch that man up today, sis. May he never play in your face. Never. Lord Jesus, I'm tired. Anyway, just wanted to clear up my own false flag. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Let this be a lesson for all of the modern women trying to be lazy and getting lazy results. Trying to, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. Don't let him tell you. Okay. All right. A man's not gonna be able to convince you, but I tell you what, cheating will. For some of you women, cheating ain't enough to convince you that this is not the man that you were looking for, that you thought you was gonna get.
Okay guys, I'm gonna give you a little tip. So if you're dating a woman and she asks you for space, a couple days, like a couple hours, that's fine. But anything more than a week, months, she's double dipping. She might be testing it out with someone else to see if it works out before fully letting you go because she doesn't want to lose all her options. Or there's definitely someone that has your interest, but there's definitely someone else in the picture that is taking her attention. So don't fall for the space thing. It's usually not a good sign, and it usually means your relationship is over.
Unpopular opinion. Being a man has to be one of the most difficult things in this world, because when I hear some of the requests that women have and how they can contradict themselves, I get confused. It's like, I don't need you to be too sensitive, but how dare you not share your feelings and your emotions with me? I need you to be a good leader, but understand that I won't be following you and I won't be listening to you, and you can't lead me anywhere. But be a good leader. Be strong and show a level of vulnerability, but not too much, because then strength and vulnerability cannot coexist together, because now I'm going to think that you weak. I want you to be truthful and honest, but not too truthful to where you telling me the truth about me, and now I got to feel some type of way towards you, because you're supposed to be on my side at all points in times. Read my mind, but don't you dare assume that you know what I'm thinking. Meet my needs, even though I'm not going to tell you what my needs are all the time, but I expect for you to just know somehow. Be financially stable, but make sure you have a whole bunch of time, even though it takes time to make money. Now, when you hear some of these requests out loud and you see how they contradict themselves, don't it sound silly? And wouldn't you be just as confused as he is?
Attractive girls get online and say and do stuff. That's who they be focused on. So every time you see a pretty girl make a video and talk about how she be disgusted when men talk to her when she out, how she don't like it when men look at her, men have conversations with her, don't talk to her. Like, when she makes videos like that, the men are paying attention. When women like that are making videos, the men are paying attention, right?
Yeah.
And so they figure, okay, well, this must be what it is. This must be what women want. Right? It don't matter about the women who ain't really that attractive, who get online and be like, oh my God, we want you to talk to us when you out. Like, they're not listening to you. They listening to the girls who they find attractive and what those girls are saying, right? So you can't counteract the girls who they find to be attractive and them saying silly stuff online. So back to the point. Because those girls are getting online and saying silly stuff like that, when men go out now, they not hollering at you, they not bothering you, and they not getting up out their seat to let you have it. You know what?
Man, y'all don't want to leave your house?
No! Stay away! Stay away! We are in the house. Gym, home, work, home again. Maybe go to mama house. Maybe go to dad house. That's about it. I'm not gonna say we not messing with y'all, but y'all not about to mess up our peace. Y'all been trolling us ever since y'all got on this internet. Ever since that creator fund came out, y'all been acting up, talking out y'all necks, and now when you go outside, there ain't nobody to be outside with. I knew y'all would get tired of being with your girls. You can only go on so many dinner dates with your girls and act like you having fun. We in the house. You said leave you alone. You chose the bear. Now what? Go on a date with the bear.
Listen, I thought this video was hilarious. Shout out to him, because it's true. It's so stupid. God forgive me. Like, come on. You chose the bear. You screamed and you hollered. We don't need men. We tired of y'all. Don't look at us exactly like he said. Don't talk to us. Oh my God, why are you approaching me? Because basically, I'm better than you. I got a job. That's the type of stuff that men have had to hear. They think that because men aren't as vocal, that they don't either have feelings or they don't care. Or
And you know, she say it's not the unattractive women. It is actually the unattractive women that are saying the same thing, and men are seeing that. Right? Because you have modern women working in tandem. They're working together to put out foolishness. So the bad looking one and the good looking one both saying the same thing. And the man is looking at the attractive one and saying, oh, okay. And then turning around and saying, you co-sign with that? I think it's like the 40-year-old virgin with Kevin Hart came in the store and he was talking back and forth with one of the salesmen, and they were going back and forth and hollering and screaming with each other. And then he turns to Steve Carell and he says, "This your boy?" He says, "Okay, both of y'all about to get clapped when I get back. Both of y'all." This is what modern women are doing. Men are looking at the attractive one or the unattractive looking one, and they say, "Oh, we don't want you to get over here. Get out of here." And then the man are looking at the other one and saying, "Are you in agreement with that?" "Yeah, okay, well, both of y'all. I'm not approaching any of y'all. You see those video clips where the man will say, will walk up to a woman who'll be trying to talk to the woman, and she won't be saying anything. She'll just be kind of listening to him. And then the lady that they call the fridge will come in and be like, no, she got a boyfriend, get away from her, and this and that. And then the man said, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to her. Oh, get out, she don't want to talk, she got a boyfriend. Is this true? Is this a thing? Yeah, I told you to get away. Okay, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna get up out the way. So it's the same concept when you talk about why are men not approaching? Why are men not coming up to us? Because both of y'all are co-signing on the same stupid message. And when a man hears it and sees it, he's like, oh, okay. Well, let me get out your way then, since you got it all figured out.
Just the other day, I recently had a client, a female client. She asked me, Miss Anita, men, they're not enthralled with women anymore. They don't approach in public. They don't chase women. They're not obsessed with women. They don't see our magic. Why do you think that is? And I responded, because we don't see our own magic. We spend so much time adorning the outside of ourselves that we have lost our ability to have inner magnetism, inner femininity, inner feminine power. Feminine power is not performative. It's not something that you have to put on. So between all of the BBL surgeries and the weaves and the wigs and the makeup and the lip filler, like you all think that is what femininity is. It is something deep down inside of you that every woman, I believe, possesses, but they never really activate, especially now in this modern day world. It is your intuition. It is your ability to nurture things like your babies and your plants and your pets. It is your softness. It is your knowing. And that is actually why men, they don't see that in women anymore. They see, really, if I'm being honest, they see themselves. You all have become a mirror to a man, and not in a good way.
Hello, it's me again, your favorite TikToker that you love to hate, here with a Valentine's Day message. Lately, I've been noticing that the modern woman's hive mind, or as I like to call it, the supreme unintelligence, has modern women asking, where are all the traditional men that will obsess over them the way that their grandfathers obsessed over their grandmothers? Well, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why traditional men will never obsess over modern day women like your grandfathers obsessed over your grandmothers. Number 10, 9 times out of 10, your grandmother was a virgin when your grandfather met her. Number 9, your grandmother hadn't caught multiple bodies by the time she graduated high school. Number 8, your grandmother wasn't bar hopping and clubbing, flirting with random men so they would buy her and her girlfriends drinks, and then going home and having one-night stands, unprotected, with these random men. Number 7, your grandmother hadn't had multiple STDs and STIs by the age of 25. Number 6, your grandmother hadn't had multiple abortions by the time she was 25. Number 5, your grandmother hadn't had multiple children by multiple men outside of wedlock by the time she was 25. Number 4, your grandmother wasn't a weed head, pill head, coke head who struggled with alcoholism by the time she was 25. Number 3, your grandmother was taught how to cook and clean and manage a household and actually look forward to being a man's partner and his helpmate. Number 2, your grandmother didn't feel the need to thirst trap, pander, or sexualize herself for attention and validation. Your grandmother had self-esteem, self-worth, and self-respect. You, not so much. Number 2, your grandmother didn't feel the need to sit around and bash men and gaslight men because her poor life choices basically rendered her undesirable and cut her off from ever being able to get the type of man that she actually wants. And the number one reason why traditional men will never obsess over modern day women the way that your grandfather obsessed over your grandmother is because your grandmother was virtuous. Your grandmother maintained her value. Your grandmother was feminine. Your grandmother was cooperative. Your grandmother was not masculine and combative. The average modern day woman? Not so much. In closing, the reason why traditional men will never obsess over modern day women the way that your grandfathers obsessed over your grandmothers is because you modern day women, y'all sure as hell ain't your grandmothers. Hope this helps.
I swear that dating as a broke girl is actually impossible nowadays, and it gets you in some really weird situations that could be avoided not being broke. So let me just fill you in on this date that I went on this weekend, because holy shit, that was a weird situation. So I'm just having a fun time scrolling through Hinge as one does, and I come across this man that is beautiful, like my type to a T. In your Hinge bio, you can add like what you're interested in and stuff, but his bio said that he is like dream height, like 6'5". We have the same religion, we have the same political beliefs, in the same industry and work, all of that. So I'm like, okay, I don't actually date people from this app, but I am going to go on a first date with this guy. We start texting, conversation is flowing so good. And even before this date, I'm like, holy shit, I think I have a crush. And you can tell that he's got some money because he followed me on Instagram and he had like G-Wagons and Porsches and just keeps posting in his Rolexes. So I'm like, dang, this man is really like my dream man.
So I guess as somebody who's broke, are we now thinking, hey, this is my dream man? Am I his dream girl? Am I up to snuff? Am I able to match what he's got going on? These are the types of women that we hear other ladies talking about. Hey, can you provide the same things that you're asking and demanding that he provide for you? Now we have to figure out if you're able to do that. Like, what are you now bringing to the table?
Could this get any better? As any typical feminine girl does, when they're texting a guy, they say, okay, like, you plan. So I was just sitting back waiting for him to tell me what time, when he was going to pick me up, where we were going, all of the typical things. So we end up setting up a date and a time, and the day of the date comes around. He texts me and he says, wear something super nice. I was like, okay. Where are we going? I'm a foodie, so this better be something good. Also, he wanted to pick me up for the date at 5 p.m. and I was like, oh, that's a little bit early, but okay, whatever. So we get to the day. He picks me up from my apartment. And he's outside in a G-Wagon. Oh my goodness. And we start driving a very weird direction. And it's to this little private airport in the area. My brain is turning and he's like, we're getting on a plane right now. On a first date. On a first date. What the heck? And he was like, yeah, I have a private jet. What does this man do? Like, is he in the mafia or something? Like, how is this a 30-year-old man with this much money? Anyways, besides the point, I didn't even get to ask those questions because of how bad it ended up going. So we get on his private jet. I'm like, well, where are we flying to? He said, I know you love the beach so much. I know you just moved from there and you miss it. So I'm going to bring you to your favorite restaurant in Newport Beach. Nobu. Of course. I mean, who doesn't love Nobu? On the beach in Newport. Anyways, get on the plane. He's giving me a little tour as we're taking off. And this is when it starts to get weird. So there's like a little bedroom with red velvet walls. So, I think you guys know where I'm going with this.
We can see where it's going. We knew where it was going. Y'all think that y'all can get out here broke, don't have anything to bring to the table, and a man is just going to be okay with that. I'm taking you out to the beach. I'm telling you, hey, let's get in private jet. I'm doing all of these things for you. So I'm expecting something in return. These are grand gestures. And even before you got on that plane, you should have said, oh, I think we might need to slow down. Maybe we should just go down the street to one of these nice spots and just sit and talk before we go on a private jet. But because y'all want this life, and because y'all can't control your lust, which is really what this is, you can't control your lust. You hop on that plane, and then when the man says, hey, we got a bed back there, then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I didn't even see this coming. You didn't see it coming, or you didn't want to see it coming? Which is it? Which is it? There was a woman by the name of Daphne. A few years ago, she went viral. Basically, she went out with a man in New York City, and he, there was a back and forth about him and the waiter or the server about cheese. And he said, well, I don't want the cheese. And she said, oh, you're broke. Basically, when she got out of the restaurant, she said, oh, why are you fighting with the server about cheese? He was like, I wasn't fighting with her. I just said I didn't want the cheese. And she said, okay. And I didn't get cheese. I don't want to pay so much money for cheese. I need to eat cheese at the house. Right? Oh, you should have got the cheese. You broke. Anyway, my point is, Daphne said, if you want some of this, you got to make it worth my while. Recently, she said this. If you want some of me, you got to make it worth my while. You got to wine me and dine me in so many words. You got to give me this, take me here, do this, this, and this. It can't always be just a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. As a matter of fact, you had another woman with a man, friends with benefits, say, oh man, I just don't want to do this wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, all stuff all the time. I want you to show a little bit more effort. I want you to do a little bit more for me, right? I want you to start taking me out on dates. I want to go to the zoo and start hanging out with you. Oh, okay. So you want me to put more effort into it. And this man says, challenge accepted. I've got the money to do it. Not only am I going to put in the effort, I'm going to go above and beyond. But, of course, y'all don't be thinking that what y'all said is being heard. This man said, I heard you loud and clear. I know this type of woman. I know this woman that's so desperate for these types of things. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that money in there. Put some money in her face, and we'll see what she does.
Yeah, it was a full-blown room for activities on a plane. So I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable, like he's expecting that from me. This is the first time I'm ever meeting this man. He looks at me and says, want to come in here? And automatically I'm like, no. What do you mean? Like, I don't even know you.
Right. You didn't know him, which is why we're confused as to why you got on a private jet the first time knowing him. We don't know why.
So I'm starting to get very uncomfortable. And then I was like, do you just bring all these tinge girls? Is this your game? You just fly everyone out for a first date? And he said, yeah, I do about 2 a week. Excuse me, mister? You go on 2 new dates a week to fly girls out in your private jet and you hook up with them. So I am obviously extremely uncomfortable at this point. And I'm like, I need to get out of here. I don't want to be anywhere near this man. No, I'm not going to dinner with him. And now I am in the air, 30 minutes into my flight, going to Newport. I start freaking out and I'm just trying to come up with an excuse. So I run to the bathroom and I don't know. Kopi thinks I was sick or something, but I'm like, I need to buy myself a flight to get out of this place ASAP. I am not staying here. I am now stuck in a new city with this man who thinks that he gets to hook up with me.
What excuse do you think you're going to have to get off the plane? Plane's already in the air. Where are you going? What do you think, you're going to stay in the bathroom that entire time and just be like, oh man, I'm sorry, I got sick. I'm not really used to heights. I get motion sickness, yada, yada, yada. That's funny, because when we got on this flight, you didn't seem to ask for any medicine for, nausea or drowsiness. So I'm not sure how the drowsiness comes up now. It's funny that you pick now to come up with standards and morals about what you will and won't be doing. And that's what we knew was happening. This type of man says, oh, you want me to put in effort, huh? I got a private jet. How is that for effort? I'm going to take you to the beach, which is what you said. I listened to you. I'm going to do what you say, and I'm going to give you what you want. Now I'm expecting you to give me what I want. And in the meantime, in between time, until we get to the beach, we're going to have a little activity, right? So, I got some champagne, whatever you want. I got it up here in the plane, man. I'm a rich guy. I'm a nice guy. But you need to be ready. So now you're trying to pull out the morals.
Heck to the no. And then I look at my bank account because I'm broke and I have $42. I'm like, I need to get on the Southwest flight right away. I need to get home. So I'm looking through all of my accounts and I'm like, what do? I don't have enough money. I'm not going to ask this man for money because I'm just going to say I got sick and that's why I have to go. And then I start looking through all my apps like Venmo and things like that. And then I open up PayPal and remember that I got a payout from PayMe. So I just had an extra $200 sitting in my account, which I just transferred in and it just paid for my flight. Right when we landed, I said I was so sick, turned right around, went to the airport, went straight home. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And you basically put yourself in that position. And so you received the treatment that you should have received. You sit up here and talk about, oh, well, I don't really even know you to be doing all of that. But you know him enough to get on a private jet. You know him enough to allow him to fly you somewhere. You don't even know the man. You don't know him. But then all of a sudden, oh, I didn't think it was going to be this. What did you think it was going to be? Oh, this is my dream man. Oh, this is the man I'm looking for. Oh, he's got this, he's got that. And oh, he's looking for little old me. An overinflated ego is what you got. Trying to tell you, y'all think y'all are more than what you actually are. Y'all think y'all going to be doing it more than what you actually do. And you're not. You're not that cute. You're not that cute. Not at all. And y'all don't seem to understand that. That y'all think, oh, I'm just moving and grooving and I'm doing it and my looks just gonna get me this and they're gonna get me that and I'm this and this. Okay. Well, be safe out there. But this is what you can expect to happen. Y'all think y'all can do it on a high level, and this man said, oh, I can do it on a high level too, and have been doing it on a high level. And as a matter of fact, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I've been doing. Now, are you down or what? Oh no, I ain't down. This and that. And you're lucky. You are lucky by the skin of your teeth that you got out of that situation. You lucky that you had that 200. How many of them young ladies didn't have that 200? How many of them young ladies didn't have enough to buy a ticket or an Uber? How many of them couldn't call nobody and say, hey man, can you give me a ticket to get back to the house? Y'all be careful out there.